Welcome back to the Sunday Roast, round 2 of the AFL season. We've got greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, lambs, hams, chickens, mogs, hogs. We've got it all, Das.
Logs, hogs, Chevy. We've got it, everything.
How are you, Das?
I'm good, mate. We've actually sat down again and watched every single game of footy, so it's been unbelievable.
We've watched a bucket load of footy again. It's been another great weekend of footy. God, it's a good brand at the moment. It's good to watch the big forwards go to work.
They fucking went to work all weekend. We said at the start of the week, Jev, that if they're on, we'll keep backing them in, and we didn't enough, but that's all right. We'll learn that. If they start going off on a Thursday night, we'll know for the rest of the week to get on them.
Yeah, we've got some unbelievable odds for you today for some of the big forwards. Let's crack in. Your boys, the Blues, the Thursday night game, Carlton versus Geelong. The Blues got it done by 8 points in an absolute cracker. Charlie Curnow kicked the first at $10, Stars. This was your game. What did you see?
Well, and also the Blues are 2-0 against the spread, so they're giving us 11.5 points. Gobbled that one up, Jev, but what a fucking game. We came out and looked to play fast. Now, it's weird. I swear the game is completely different to when we started playing. You know, they said never handball the ball forward. Obviously, it makes a difference when the person on the mark can't do anything and they can draw him in. They get a runner to go past. But, geez, we look really fast, and pretty much every team does in the AFL at the moment. But I thought we moved the ball really well, and from the start, we looked like we actually tried to win the game. If we play like we did against the Tigers, I thought we would have got smashed. But a lot of guys that didn't play too well round one really stood up. I thought Blake Acres played really well. I thought Sard was unbelievable. Look, we led it every change and we deserved to win, and we did. And I thought Harry Mackay, even though he didn't really impact on the scoreboard, he was massive in that last 4 or 5 minutes, taking about 3 or 4 really big marks.
It was two different teams, the Carlton from week 1 and the Carlton from round 2. Like, you actually looked like a top 4 team. You were moving quick. As David King said after the game, last week against Richmond, you gave Mackay and Curnow 9 inside 50s. This week, you gave them 21. You just got to get it down to them, let them go to work. That's what a top 4 team looks like.
It's the biggest thing you want to see is that a team can make an adjustment, and we did. Yeah. Main adjustment we went through. So, look, pretty clear on the votes. We got Jez with 3, Jev. We got Charlie with 2, and I've got Sard with 1. I thought his run off the back line was unbelievable. Had 29 disposals, 5 score involvements. Also thought Ed, Blake Acres, and Cripper were really good. Now, I've got 2 more things for you, Jev. The multi of the night. So, obviously, we screenshot all the markets. If you had Jeremy Cameron for 6, Jeremy Cameron for 25, Charlie Curnow for 5, and Matt Owies for 3 snags, that was paying, if you had $1 on it, you would have won $148,988.
Imagine $150K from a buck.
That's unbelievable.
Oh, God.
And then also, I am handing out a few awards today, Jev. So we've got the Battler of the Game. It's almost a little canteen award, a hot dog and a can of Coke, but we've given it to Ollie Hollands, Jev. 20 touches, should have had a goal. He went back with a flight. He was unbelievable and covered 15.2 Ks. He's a runner.
He runs his ass off, doesn't he?
He's led the last 2 games in the AFL in his first 2 AFL games. So very happy, Jev. We'll take it on to GWS next Saturday.
One thing we're going to start doing on the 100K, we're going to start posting like individual performances of the year. So like last week, I think we had Toby Green number 1, Larky number 2, LDU 3, and maybe Jordan McGoey 4, something like that. Jeremy Cameron and Charlie Curnow have just shot themselves to 1 and 2 by that far. If anyone else in this comp is getting 6 goals, 25 touches, 8 marks, 6 inside 50s, and 11 score involvements, he was unbelievable, Das.
It's fucked. And, like, their spots on the pyramid are absolutely solidified. Like,
they're both in better form than Bont right now. 100%. They're going up. They're going up. Also, some pyramid work to do this week.
Toby Green just kicked his second there, Jev. By the way, guys, we aren't live, but Toby Green's just gone through and kicked his second, you beauty.
Good.
That's easy cash.
Brisbane, Melbourne. Brisbane got it done by 11 points. Zach Bailey kicked the first at 17-1, which is just delicious.
Oh, that's good money.
After being Melbourne's red-headed stepson for a couple of years, the Lions have now beaten the D's twice in a row, and it was only 11 points, but it was probably more than that. They were up by 41 points when the power went out, as we know, which was very weird. And that was about 12 minutes ago in the 4th. And then Melbourne came out charging like a wounded bull after that. But it's probably a bit late, wasn't it, Das? I reckon the Lions have shown the league sort of how to beat Melbourne now, and you just can't kick long against them. You've got to take what they give you, take the shorts, change lanes, to hit the little 45. You just can't kick. Especially, well, Gawn's going to be out now, but May will come back in. And if Lever's sagging off, they're just licking their lips for you to kick long. them to win the ball back and go. So you saw Brisbane took care of the ball, and they're very good at the Gabba. They're like 37-4 or something over the last couple of years.
They play it really well, but still, like Melbourne were favourites that game. I think that they should have been. If Gawn, like as soon as Gawn went out, their structure was completely fucked. Like you can see, Lever still takes some alright intercept marks, but with Gawn there, and then also with May not playing, like they look like a completely different side. Like Brisbane ran over the top of them early, and they just couldn't get their own play going, really. Like they struggled to get their hands on the ball. And also, there were so many times where the ball was stuck over the other side of the ground. So guys, I feel sorry for you, but Petrarca only had 24. He was stuck on the other side of the ground for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's the way they film the Gabba. You know, usually film from behind the benches so you can't see the bench, but at the Gabba you can see who's exactly on the bench. It kills you. I can't believe Petrarca only had 24. Some big performances. So Joe Danaher kicked 4. He paid about 16-1 to kick 4. Ben Brown kicked another 4. I had a little sprinkle on him. He paid 9-1 for 4. He didn't kick 4. I told you, I had ears on the ground at Melbourne. He kicked 4.
You got ears in the corridor.
Dane Zorko, 22-2. I've been critical of Dane Zorko. I said he'll be in the twos by the end of the year. So he proved me wrong. He was $1.72 for 20 and $4 for 2. Will Ashcroft, 31-1. Guess what Will Ashcroft paid for 30, Das?
Oh, fuck. A bucket load.
$11 for 30 for the young gun. $11 for 30. And then Clayton Oliver, 37-1. He paid $3 for 30 $3 for 35 and $3 for a goal. And Charlie Cameron got his season started with 2. My Brownlow votes, Lachie Neale 1, Will Ashcroft 2, and Clayton Oliver for the 3. Who was my tip before the season. So I'm pretty happy he got 3 and a loss.
But it's not even him just getting stats. Like you could see the stats and think, oh, like he's just rainbow. Like you actually watch him play. He got a few of the tap clearances. They kicked it out, and Clary's marking on the half forward line. Like he's already there. He's
speed, his leg drive. He looks explosive. He looks fit and ready to go this season.
I think he's the number one player. If I was playing footy, I would hate to play on.
Oh, imagine what he'd do to you and me.
I actually think he's the number one. Imagine me going up and putting an arm on him in a contest.
And he would be so much bigger than me.
He'd laugh.
He kicked a goal. I did call before the season. He'll kick about 15 goals for the year. And he got burnt about 4 times.
When Rivers burnt him, he was running like threw his hands in the air like Jesus.
He was so on. Rivers went back from about 71. Like, come on, Riv. Kick it to the best player in the comp. So you can see he looks a bit hungrier for goals. So, like, as I tipped him for the Brownlow for the season, I love to see it. I reckon he's going to keep kicking goals every week. Let's get to the next game, Darc.
Also, Jev, you have to say, I had one more note here. I know you're critical on Dane Zorko. You know he had the 22 at 91%, 2 goals, 6 score involvements, second-ranked player on the ground, and only just over 50% game time.
Yeah. That's a fair game, isn't it?
I went through and checked how much time because I didn't think he was on the ground for that long. Just over 50% he played.
He's just he's just played 300 games now. He just gets it out there. He's just a smart footballer. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's good at. He knows what he's not good at. Yeah, good on him. Next game, Pies versus Port. You and me were there, Dobe. We sat amongst the faithful Collingwood supporters on level 1 and watched the Pies absolutely pump Port by 71. Big Chaz Dixon kicked the first at 12.50. What did you see, Das?
Well, as you said, Jev, 145, perfect conditions. Still side bottom started amazingly. Well, to be honest, everyone did. Look, it's box office when you go watch the Pies. To have a home game at 1:10 on a Saturday with local sport and everything else on against an interstate side, they had 60,000 people there and you could hear every single one of them.
Yeah.
Like they were so clean. They even spoke about on the Sunday footy show that like they were plus everything.
They pumped them.
Ball, ground ball, inside 50s. And it is a no fumble league, Jev, and they don't. Like Tom Mitchell was unbelievable inside. Look, the Pies ended up winning by 71 points. Dacos boys were fucking elite. The multi of the day, Jev, this is what we would have had on. So this is a little 4-legger for you. Josh Dacos for 2 goals. Nick Dacos for 2. Bo McQuarrie for 2. Still side bottom for 20 touches. Not as much as the other one, but $1,587.
Oh, wouldn't that have been nice? So what did Dacos pay for 2? Nick Dacos?
$12.50.
So I've been reluctant to put him in my pyramid because he's a 19-year-old, and it's like, if you're 19, once you're in for 10 years, basically. Like, I made him earn his spot. Watching him play at the MCG, the way he runs around, he's fucking in. He is in the top 21 players in the comp, without a doubt.
Don't you reckon you have to put, like, the way that Collingwood play and the way his role is, he's set up to get votes almost every game,
Oh,
or he like win the Brown. If he's a half back line, everyone looks for him, so he's always going to get the ball. If they're winning, and because his touches are so like you can see them, he holds on to the ball a long time. If he can kick 1 or 2 goals, he's getting votes every single game.
100%. And you can see
The rest of his life.
he wants the ball in his hands. He doesn't shy away from the ball at all. He's already played about 10 games in front of 100,000. He
Fuck.
wants the ball. He is something else. He's going to be a good player for a long time. Brownlow votes. Who do you have for the Brownlow votes?
I mean, we said the same. We think Nick gets the 3. Josh probably gets the 2. You could throw this one around, but Darcy Cameron was really good as well.
He was
for the
good.
one, but also the Canteen Award, Jev. This is the one that we really want to go after. Johnny fucking Noble. We had some guy walk down. We couldn't believe he had a brand new Collingwood jersey. It was either the last one on the rack or he loves Johnny Noble, but he's got a brand new spanking 9 Collingwood jersey, 19 disposals, Jev, 84% efficiency, runs harder than a fat kid after the Mr. Whippy van. I'll tell you what, absolutely loved his game. Johnny Noble, he's got the Canteen Award from us on the Sunday roast.
He was great, big Johnny Noble. I was up and about for him. Yeah, seeing that bloke in the brand new John Noble jersey got me sort of hyped. And we both love Bo McCreary's game. He is a good player.
How tough is he?
And we were watching Bobby Hill like he was our own son because we needed him for a snag in the 100K. And
when he kicked that, me and you celebrate like we won the flag.
He was skirting the outside of the packs. He had a weird roll, but he finally kicked one and we went off our head. It was good stuff. It was fucking good stuff. It was a good game to be at. You can't, now that Eddie and Bucks have left the Pies and everyone loves Craig McRae, you just can't hate him like you used to. It was great. It was good to watch.
I agree.
Next game of the week, Adelaide versus Richmond. Adelaide's first home game of the year. They got done by 32 points to the Tigers. Big Darcy Fogarty kicked the first at 11-1. And then it was all Richmond after that until halftime. The Tigers up by about 40 points at halftime. Then the Crows must have gotten a bigger spray than Rodney Eve gave Will Minton at halftime. And they came out firing. They kicked 5 or 6 goals in the third quarter to make the margin. I think it was about 6 or 7 points they got to, didn't they?
They left points out there. Like, they left them out there. Like, they just couldn't convert on these touches. I think it was 24 for inside 50s to 3 at one stage in the third quarter. And the one Richmond went down, Jack Rewalt gets a look on goal. It was just like they were coming, the Crows.
They had a crack. The class and experience of Richmond just got it done in the end, you'd say. Like, they had a crack. They've got some talent, the Crows, but I don't think they know how to win yet. Like, they're probably a year away from really knowing how to win those games. They just weren't good enough in the first half.
They looked like they were still buggered from the week before, but the third quarter, they were unbelievable. You know who that crowd fucking loves because they were so loud? Josh Rochelle, and he fucking loves it. 2 goals, 1. He went through, kicked a goal, and he starts high-fiving the crowd. And I don't know if – I think Brisbane do it as well. Do they – when they kick a goal, do they have their own song requests?
Yeah, they might. I know
has Country Road.
Yes, the Swans are playing Sweet Caroline today. They must. They probably do.
This one, Rochelle kicked a goal. They played the Rocky theme song.
Oh,
and Rochelle's like boxing and stuff. It was so good.
Fucking oath. I said on the pod and I said on Here Comes the Money that Isaac Rankin for 2 at $2 was my favourite bet of the week. That one. Rory Laird got his season underway with 39 touches. He paid $3.25 for 35, which is a nice collect. Tim Durano, another solid game, 28. Liam Baker, 25 and a goal. He paid $4.90 for 25 and $3 for a goal. That would have been a nice multi. Dan Rioli, we had for 20 in the 100K. That was easy work. Fogarty kicked 3 at $3.25. Tom Lynch kicked 3 at $2. He pays for 3. And then big Samson Ryan, he kicked 3. He paid $10.50 to kick 3, Dobe, which would have been nice. Big Samson.
So when you start looking at it, don't worry about filling the stat sheets with these 15 touches, 20 touch multis, Jeff. We just need to pick a couple of players like a Baker.
Yeah.
Surely he can get a 20 and a 2-1 game.
Yeah, for sure.
Like $7.
Like Samson Ryan, I could look up what he paid for 2, but he probably paid 5, 6 to 1 for 2. Like, he's a key forward. That's easy cash, isn't it?
Yeah. Especially for the Tigers, the way they play, I like that.
Yeah. My Brownlow votes, I'm going to give... It's a toss between Dan Rioli and Jordan Dawson. I'll go because they won. I'll go Dan Rioli for 1, Tim Turano 2, and Rory Laird with 39 touches, probably the best player on the ground. He had it on a string.
Yeah.
You probably agree with those?
Yeah, no. It was funny. It was on one stage in the middle, he got it, got rid of it. and he turned it over and he didn't run defensively and he must have copped a spray because after that, I reckon he laid like 5 tackles in a row. They must have got out to him and fucking given him the word.
He does love the ball in his hand, the boy, doesn't he? He likes touching it.
He loved it.
Next game, Saturday night, St Kilda versus the Dogs. Under the lid, the Saints took care of the Dogs by a whopping 51 points and were just better from start to finish. The rookie Mateus Philbert kicked the first at 18-1. Darcy, you watched this game from pillar to post. What did you see?
This kid is going to be a star. He said when they interviewed him, what pick do you reckon you should be? And he said, I should be pick number 1. He kicked the first goal for every quarter, for the first 3 quarters, first, second, and third. He's one from outside, like genuine from 60 metres. He just walked back and he's like, I've got this.
That was fucked.
Mate, they looked, it was, the flashiest thing about the Dogs is Bevo's new teeth. I'll tell you what, they honestly could not get near it. They looked dreadful, did not want to run back. The Saints look like prime when they were in 2010, when they were really contending in the midfield. Like all the boys were getting their hands on it. We have a new contender, Jev, for the Hall of Shame Performance of the Year. So every week, Jev, we're going to give a Shame Performance of the Week. This week, it goes to the 2 new big forwards, Sam Darcy and Jamar. They combined for a total of 10 touches and 2 tackles. Oh. Jev, I've seen more fight out of a 5-day-year-old fucking Vindaloo Curry. Those 2 boys did not get near it or put a glove on the Sharon. Like, they were woeful. Terrible.
Oh, that is
like,
not good.
Like Jamara's body language. Oh, every time he went to get near it because he was hot, he got caught holding the ball a few times, cracked the shits, had a shot from 20 metres out, kicked it out on the full. But, mate, they looked, I don't know what their game plan is, but it's not.
I remember I was listening to Matt Rendell on the radio once, and he said you can't win a premiership in pre-season, but you can just lose one by just not doing pre-season properly. And I reckon the Dogs have cost themselves a year. I reckon they've just fucked their pre-season, and now they don't defend. Their mids don't defend. Their defense aren't good at defending, and they're not kicking enough goals. They're too tall, no forward pressure. Like, I reckon they've missed a trick here.
Well, do you reckon, they say 10 years is probably the time till your coach goes. How many years has Bevo been there? Bit over 10?
He won the 2016 grand final. He's probably 1 or 2 years in. So, yeah, probably 8 or 9.
And because he's had such a high list turnover, it's a completely different team. Like, Hunter's gone. A heap of guys have retired. It's like when those Dog team was there, it'd feel like a completely different team to what it was then.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, Liam Jones is back in the fucking side. Like, it's just...
It's a
I
weird...
don't know. They need something.
They run
I don't know what it is, but they need something.
Weird system. Some big bets you got your eyes on.
Yeah, well, so this one, Jev, the multi of the night, same thing. Didn't pay overly as much as the first game multi was unbelievable. But if you had Mateus for 3, Mitch Owens for 3, and Sinclair for 30 for $1, that gets you 181.
Yeah, I did say Jack Sinclair for 25 was one of my bets of the week in the 100K. What did Philippou pay for 3, Das? Do you have it there? 10-1 for 3.
Yep.
He's there. They've finally got like an A-grade match winner, I reckon, the Saints. Like, he looks like their Isaac Heaney. Like, he steps up. He's hard to play on. He can be a mid. He can be a forward. He can kick a goal.
He's like, they've gone through so many of those guys. They've gone through like Loney. They've got Dan Butler there, but he just looks like someone.
They tried Jack Billings to do it. Yeah.
He just looks like he wants it a little bit more.
Is he still 17 or is he finally 18? He was drafted at 17. He has to be 18 now, doesn't he?
Probably. I think so.
Yeah, you'd think so. Yeah, fucking good on him. So the Saints are 2-0. The Dogs are zipping 2. I reckon the Dogs season's over. What do you reckon?
Yeah, if they played how they did that first half, if I was a Dogs fan, I'd genuinely be disgusted.
Yeah, they were fucked. Bont, you had Bont any time in the 100K. Didn't he get robbed?
Oh, he got his head knocked off in the first quarter and was being held in the last quarter directly in front of goals. So that should have been a snag. Instead, he ended up getting 24. But the votes, Jev, splitting the 1, it's hard to do. I think Bailey Smith was really good. He had 28 at 71%, but I think you can just give it all St Kilda. So Brad Crouch was awesome, so he probably gets the 1. Sinclair, 2 votes, was great with 33, and Jack Steele, best on ground, 29 and 1. And he's also set to miss the next 4 weeks, Jeff, with a broken collarbone. He went off and came back on and finished the game. So
that's pretty tough. That is pretty tough.
He's tough. He looks like, when he was running back, he just looks like he wanted it. Obviously, they hear all the noise about how much everyone thought the Saints were going to be shit, and they looked like, I don't know how long they can keep it up for because they're playing like so fast and frantic, but it was good to watch. They were really good.
Yeah, once, like, obviously Ross's change the way they play. But maybe once some of the good coaches get a bit of tape on them, they might start getting opened up. Who knows? But you got to be happy for them. 2-0. I'm a harsh critic of the Saints, so I'm happy for them. Next game, Freo versus North. Clarko's 1-0 Roos got in the long flight to Perth, usually a burial ground for them, and they got the job done in a thriller by 1 point. Nick Larkey kicked the first for the second week in a row at $9.75 he paid. 2 weeks in a row, so that's getting a trend. You watched as much of this game as I did, Das. All I know is LDU, Luke Davies-Uniacke, is as good as any other midfielder in the comp. I called this on the 100K, and here comes the money, that he'll have 30. He's had 30 in a goal in his last 5 AFL games, and he had it again, and that makes it 6 in a row. He's had 30 in a goal. I know WA is 3 hours behind Melbourne, Das, but both West Coast and Freo look like they're 3 years behind the rest of the competition. They just don't kick any goals. What did you see, Dad?
Mate, they are fucking terrible. Exact same as what I said with the Blues. They came out, they led it every change, and they looked like they wanted to win the game from the very start. Against the West Coast team, their pressure was really good, tackling. Exact same in this game. They were just trying to go through the middle. Them having Ben Cunnington back is like them for their midfield, just to have like he'll take a 2-on-1, LDU will take a 2-on-1. They can give it out to Simpkin, Luke McDonald, like obviously the 2 young captains. Like they just go so hard from the back line. Yeah. I thought they were both unbelievable. Love how they both played. And the free flow brand of footy that they actually have, it's finally good, as you said. They can finally uncage Nick Larkey. Yeah. He's had patches over the last 2 or 3 years where he's had big bags. Like when it's coming in fast and you're a key forward and you got one-on-ones, he looks so good.
He's as good as set shot as anyone in the comp. He's actually a really nice kick of the footy.
Have you seen his set shots? If he's 20 metres out, he just does like an old Chris Weld. He legit just, like he'll kick it 23 metres.
Yeah.
If he's 20 metres out, he won't try and kick the shit out. Like he just pokes it over their head.
LDU and Ben Cunnington are as tough as any 2 midfielders, and they'll go head-to-head with anyone. They are as tough as $2 stakes. I know you took Cam Zerha to audition him for the 2 and 15 club. He had 25 touches and 2 points. Was he stiff not to kick a goal?
Yeah, he had 2 good looks. He had like a snap out of a pack or another one, and then he had a set shot. So he was stiff from there, but he played a lot more midfield. He was so impressive. Like he played a lot more midfield. He could he'd be like a DeGoey.
Yeah, that's a great call. A great DeGoey.
Like that's the role. He looks so fit.
Looks fit.
He was running like 6 clearances. He had 25 touches. Like he was those 2. Like there's just another string to the bow. Like someone else they can have.
Yeah, some other big performance. So LDU 30 and a goal. Sheasel had another 30 for his second game of the year, which is unbelievable for an 18-year-old.
Hey, he's like going back with a flight and just uses it so well.
And he just gets footy, doesn't he? Like I don't know what it is. Like you look at Dacos last year, and then you look at like Sheasel coming this year as like high picks. Then I go look back at Matt Rao can't kick a drop punt. I've never seen Matt Rao kick a drop punt. I look at Jamara. He doesn't look anything like these kids. Like these blokes are fucked. They just look like they're born to play footy. Brayshaw, Luke Ryan, and Sarong all had 30. Larkey kicked 4, and he's leading the Coleman on 10 goals. He paid another $7 for 4. So he kicked 6 last week. Don't know what he paid for 6, but he kicked 4 at $7. That's juicy. I reckon he's a lock for 3 a week, the way North are playing. And then
because they play a lot of their games under the lid as well, so it's good conditions for him.
You and me, we've both seen him kick 7 on our team. He kicked 7 on the Swans. I think he kicked 7 on the Blues. He kicked 7 on Wiedering one year.
Yeah, Wiedering was all Australian full back. And then he got stripped that game.
O'Meara had he had a nice 20 touches and 2 goals. He made $9.25 for 2, which is very nice.
They legit put him forward late, and he kicked 2 in about 5 minutes.
My Brownlow votes, I had LDU for 3, Cam Zerha for 1, and either Sheasel or Andy Brayshaw for the 1. I might give it to Sheasel. 30 as a rookie off halfback in a win. 2 things in this game as well. I said it on Here Comes the Money, and I actually bet it. I took LDU at 34-1 to win the Brownlow, and I said, this is the last week you'll get 34. He's probably leading it on 6 votes right now. He was unbelievable again. And we were talking at the footy. Sportsbet gave me 120-1 for this to be a draw. They said that big odds boost. So I'm like, I only had $3 on it to win $360. And I was watching the end of the game. I'm like, I'm about to win here. And Sheasel was a goalkeeper on the line.
Smart.
What a game. What a good game. North are must watch now.
They are. Hey, if they win next, who do they have next week? They've got the Hawks.
Yeah, I think they got the Hawks in Tassie.
Yeah, and then it could be an undefeated show on Good Friday, Jev.
Oh, and we will be there carrying on like a couple of second-hand lawnmowers. Let's go.
4:20, Good Friday.
All right, the bloodbath of the week. Swans versus Hawthorn. The Swans absolutely handled the Hawks by 81 points, like we all predicted. Big Joel Amati kicked the first, and Sportsbet actually didn't have a market for him to kick the first. So any other player at $4.10 won.
At 41?
Nah, $4.10 for any other player. You couldn't even bet on Joel Amati.
Is that how much it only paid? $4.10 for any other player?
They give you basically every good player in the game, and then it's $4.10 for any other player. And Joel Amati,
I thought it's 41 for any other player because they're not listed.
On my screenshot, it says $4.10. So
Dang.
And they've stitched us up there. I took the Swans for over 32 points in the 100K. I took them for over 68 points in Here Comes the Money at $4.40. And I even had a sprinkle of them over 99 points at 21-1.
So did I.
We were up by 96 points in the last quarter, and I was getting a bit excited. The Hawks are just on a different scale to the Swans. There isn't much to say. We're more experienced, more talented, put more pressure on them, just played more football together. So this was always going to happen. I'm not going to take too much from this game. I'm not going to carry on too much. We're just
carry on. Carry on.
Better than the Hawks. Like, I saw this coming. The line was, what was the line? It was 40 minus 40.
Yeah, 39.5.
So Oregon Sportsbet got an absolute drumming out of this because they were never going to cover 40, Hawthorn.
No.
That's 10 points a quarter. That's a goal. That's basically 2 goals a quarter. Like,
yeah,
they were never going to cover that.
Never.
I don't have too much to say about it. We were just straight up better than them. We bullied them on, like Chad Warren was pretty quiet, but like Luke Parker and Callum Mills, they're experienced players. They bullied them. The big forwards were good. Yeah, Hawthorn are a bit of trouble, I reckon.
Oh, yeah, I've got a line for you.
Yeah, what is it?
Definitely listen to the pod tomorrow, but North minus 7.5 against Hawthorn.
Yeah, I'd take that any day. Hawthorn looked like they didn't know what they were doing. And you saw they crossed to Sam Mitchell in the box. He was just shaking his head. I don't think they know what they're doing. They're just too young. You're supposed to, if you're rebuilding, you still keep some experience. They've only kept Luke Bruce, and they're just too young.
I think, yeah, they've gone way too far the other way.
That's right. Big performances. Joel Amati, he had 4 by halftime. He paid 34-1 to kick 4. I had a little sprinkle on that. Logan McDonald kicked 5. He paid $9 to kick 4 and 23-1 to kick 5. Papley, 2-15 club again to lock at the moment. He's hit 12 of the last 13 games. $1.67 for 15, $1.71 for 2. Callum Mills had a huge day with 28 and 2. He paid $1.97 for 25 and a whopping 13-1 for 2. Errol Goulden also had 25 at 2.20. Ollie Florent also had 25 touches. He paid $10 for 25, which would have been nice. Then there was a little heartbreak in this game. I needed Chad Warner for 25 in the 100K, and Here Comes the Money. I would have won $1,000 Darts if Chad Warner hit 25, and he had a shocker and only had 15 touches.
And we spoke about that, didn't we? We thought, oh, he might not. Oh, yeah. There goes Liam Ryan's kicked a snag. Good on him.
Yeah, Liam Ryan just kicked a snag. And also, I put up a nice, juicy same-game multi on the Insta stories. We had at least 10 guys ask for the link to copy bet it that I sent them. 22-1 it paid. It was about 10 legs. And the only leg that lost, we needed Hayden McLean anytime. And he didn't kick goal. It cost me $770. He had a set shot and missed. I couldn't believe it.
That's all right.
It was stiff.
That is stiff. Your votes?
Yeah, I'm going to give... we had a bit of a discussion about this in one of our group chats. I'm going to give Joel Amati 1. Thought when the game was on the line, he was just dominant in the first half. Kick 4, he had 9 marks. He was subbed off by 3/4 time because he's come back from a hammy. Yep. I thought he was unbelievable for the first half. Like, he won us the game. Having 4 at halftime, and he missed an absolute city. Should have had 5.
Yeah.
Callum Mills, 2 votes, 28 and 2. He's just an absolute Rolls-Royce football player. And then Logan McDonald, very happy for Logan McDonald. He kicked 5. It's his biggest bag as a professional footballer in his 26 games. So I'm up and about for Logan. He kicked 5, so 3 votes for mine. Anything to add?
No, I thought, Mills, I thought Goulden was really good as well. But in a big win, everyone's always going to get their hands on it. Everyone's going to be really good.
So with the Swans have got Melbourne at the MCG 3:20 next Sunday. If you don't think I'm not going to carry on like a pork dog, I'm going to go and play it. I'm that excited.
Oh, damn, it's going to be a good game.
I know some people might remember this, some people might not, but Max Gawn had performance of the year against the Swans on the MCG last year. He's out. I'm liking the Swans. Do you have an early line for that? Do you know what the line for that is?
Yeah, what do you reckon?
I'm going to say Melbourne by -5.5.
Favourite, 7.5.
Melbourne 7.5 favourites. I'll be gobbling up the Swans points.
Yes, sir.
Go on. Essendon versus Gold Coast, another game under the lid. The Bombers got it done in what was actually a really good game by 28 points. Jack Lukosius kicked the first at a delicious 21-1. You watched this game, Dobe. What did you see?
It was another good arm wrestle, Jev. A lot of big ball winners. Merritt, Took, Parrish, all getting 30+. Setterfield also settling in really nice to the Bombers, Jev. Another 28 touches. He had a snag as well. Couldn't crack into, obviously, the big Blues midfield. He's gone to the Bombers and he's looking really good. Now, we don't have to worry about the hot dog and Coke award here, Jev. I am giving out a bottle of SPF 50, and that goes to the boy, Matty Rowell. Worked his absolute arse off for his 22 touches. You look at the heat map. Looks like he just covers the centre. Right around the square. He just works the midfield. If you look at the heat map, but some of his tackles and like what he does for his touches are unbelievable. And the chase work, like it doesn't get recognised enough unless if you're watching. So he got the SPF 50 award. But Jev, you could throw these awards out everywhere. But I think I've got to give Tuke Miller one. He had over 30. He's really good. And also when I give the votes, I'm thinking who I think did well, but also from potentially an umpire's perspective, like who are they going to give votes to? So I think Tuke will get him. Langford, Jev, kicked 5 snags.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
And also, I've got to give it to Zach Merritt as the skipper for 3. Now, Jev, you couldn't get Langford for 4. You couldn't get him for 5. You can only get him for 3 snags.
At what?
He paid $23 for 3.
One for 3. Oh my God, he would have paid 100. Would have paid 200 to 1 for 5.
Crazy. I swear, every time I watch the Bombers and he's playing, he kicks bags.
He's their key. He's the difference between winning and losing for the Bombers, I reckon. So
no,
let's know the Bombers.
It was a very good win by the Bombers.
You reckon? I reckon the Scots, they had a chat over Christmas, and Chris told Brad how to actually win in this year, in this up and coming AFL over a nice turkey dinner or a nice turkey roast at Christmas Day. And they're playing, you can see the Bombers are trying to play like Collingwood do, like Geelong do, like the Swans do. They're trying to play a brand of footy that's going to stand up in big finals. I'm happy for them. I'm a harsh critic of the Bombers because I reckon they're absolute a dog shit organisation. Their front office is fucked, but I'm happy for them.
No, it's good. Now, Jeff, we have some absolute cracking games next week. Bulldogs Brisbane, which is all right.
Is it Collingwood or at Etihad?
Etihad, which makes it good.
Yeah, it makes it good.
We've got Collingwood Richmond, Hawthorn North,
Belter,
GWS Carlton.
Yeah, Belter.
St Kilda Essendon.
Yes, please.
The Showdown, Port and Adelaide.
Yes, please.
Gold Coast Geelong at Gold Coast.
Yep.
So Dewey, Melbourne Sydney, and then Fremantle West Coast.
I reckon it's impossible to tip 9 again. Listen to that. Do you reckon anyone can tip 9? Let's go on the 100K again, and we'll do if anyone tips 9, we'll give them $100.
Give them 200. Fuck it.
Hello. And then right now we're watching West Coast GWS. It's nearly half time. It's 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. What are they up by? 12 points. The Eagles are up by. Toby Green, the fucking GOAT Toby Green, kicked the first at 9-1.
9-1.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a pretty crappy game of two teams just aren't good enough to make the 8 for mine.
They are nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. Now, Jev, this week's theme, we said we did touch on it, but it was all about the key forwards.
Oh, this is unbelievable. So we're going to, if you were to bet on the key forwards for the week, this is what they paid. So you go Carlton Geelong.
So Jeremy Cameron for 6 goals was $14 and Curnow was $11.50 for 5.
Then Joe Danaher was 16-1 for 4. Ben Brown was 9-1 for 4.
Yep. Next game after that, we have Port and Pies. So we got Charlie Cameron, not really, but Charlie Cameron kicked 3. That's at $4. Still pretty good.
Yeah.
Chuck him in your multi. He's going to kick a couple of snags.
Samson Ryan, 3 at $10.50. Tom Lynch, 3 at $2. And Darcy Fogarty, 3 at $3.25.
Yeah, we had nothing really in the Bulldogs game. Mateus Philippou, as I said, him for $3 was 10. Him for 3 snags was $10.
Big Larky kicked 4. Leading the Coleman, he paid $7 for 4.
And that's pretty much about it. And then
Nolan Martin
Langford.
kicked 4 at 34-1. Logan McDonald kicked 5 at 23-1.
That's good.
And then
The biggest one was Langford for 3 goals was 23 bucks.
You think you try and build all these fucking fancy multis that pay 10-1 and you always lose by a leg, or you back Joel Amadi to kick 4 at 34-1 and he kicks it by halftime. You're like, how much better is this? Like, next week you take Langford for 2 into fucking Setterfield for 20 and a goal. That multi will pay 20-1. That's a lot easier than fucking betting on all these players to kick to get their 20 touches or whatever.
Yeah.
Looks like, what's his name? Finn Callahan's about to get subbed out, which is flat.
Yeah, must be his shoulder.
All right. Good show, Dave.
Hey, well done. Hey, it's another Sunday roast. Speaking of roast, what are you having for dinner?
I'm getting a souvlaki plate sort of thing from up the street. What are you getting?
I don't know. I've got to make something.
Oh, fucking hell. All right, let's go. I need, for Here Comes the Money, I need West Coast to lose this game by under 12.5 points. And I win another nice little multi for Here Comes the Money.
And you need them to lose or not lose?
I got them plus 12.5 points, the Eagles, at home. So I should be right here to win another $100. I'll be well above the 1,000 mark, and I'm back in Here Comes the Money. You're not back. You're in trouble.
I've got 800 to go until I'm off the show. So
it'll just be me. It'll be me by round 4. By the way, you're going,
which is hilarious. It's all right. Hey, back against the wall, Jev. This is what we love.
You got a couple of Bowie bets. Just turn them into real cash. Get back into the game.
We're good. We're good. Hey, good show, Jev.
Good show. We'll speak to you. I'll speak to you during the week. Let's go.
Let's go.